does sometimes sadness come in about their experiences in battle?
Yeah, that's probably true of the non-Indian community. But what I described to you, the Wichita Society, and that ceremonial time of telling, well, it was the great release. It was
Mm-hmm.
they didn't carry that with them. I can't say the same for the Vietnam veterans because they experienced something completely different. You know,
Yeah. Yeah, the Vietnam War was, I know that all the soldiers had to come back and,
it was senseless.
yeah, and I know it's more true for the white and black veterans, but coming back and feeling like they had done something terribly wrong just by being a soldier and feeling shame about being a soldier in Vietnam.
Yeah,
But I know the Native American people treat their veterans
yeah.
better than what the other veterans were being treated as.
I've never seen a Native American veteran treated that way. It, that that tradition among the Indian community carries on. In spite of the fact that we realize that the Vietnam War was not the same as the Nazi War of Germany. We knew that there was a difference, and we knew that the white community did not appreciate. They spit upon their their sons and daughters. We didn't do that. We've never done that. And then the same is true for all veterans of that terrible time, whether they're white or black. They still served. They still answered the call to serve, and that's what you honor. You
Yes,
know, you
yes,
don't honor the war. It's not.
right.
It's not about honoring conflict and battle and spilling blood. It's about that person willing to stand up and serve.
Why do you think the native community was able to separate warriorhood and defendership, or how you want to define that, from policy? As it seems, there's a difference between a warrior standing up and policymakers. Why did the native community
Well,
seem to
I
be
think
able
it
to?
goes back to traditional governance and tradition itself. Um, for for instance, the warrior society could be looked upon as the defenders, as the army, right? But in any conflict, a war leader, uh, fictional war chief, cannot make the decision to go to war. Uh, that decision must be made by the people. But once the people have made that decision, then that's when the war that's when the warriors, then that's their responsibility, and that decision cannot be taken back for any reason until that warrior society has finished that mission. And then when they come back, then it's back to the community as citizens, but always are looked upon as always ready to be the defender. But the warrior is like a mission, you know, whether that mission is to defend the rice fields or to avenge a peace-breaking event or whatever. That's when the warrior. That's when the warrior is warrior. But we're always defenders.
Is there a difference between non-native society and Indian society or Ojibwe society in how someone would prepare to go to war?
Oh, definitely. Oh yeah, yeah,
How,
yeah.
how would you describe that difference between the two communities?
Well, right here, what I've witnessed. Harold Frog just passed away within the past few months, right? When it was time for him to go to war, he had not yet been entered into the Medewan Lodge, and that time that he was supposed to leave it was still months from the annual Medewan ceremony. So the community, Medewan community, quickly came together and prepared him. And I mean, it was a sizable community. And you know where Ruth Kuhn, her old place was? There was an open field there to the back of that. That's where they erected the lodge for him. And so that's how they prepared him. And they gave him the things that would protect him. So that's one way. And then of course the Big Drum Society did likewise. The Frogs were not Big Drum members, but they were Medewan. So the whole Medewan community came together. But it's interesting too. There were Catholic families who did the same thing. You know, like Monty Diamond. Monty Diamond's family would not permit him to go off without ceremony, even though they were Catholic. You know, and there were some Billels same way.
So the tradition of warriorhood predates the emergence of other religious affiliations. People still kept those things ingrained in the need. It's like people who might be Christians who put tobacco down before they go out fishing, and there's still things that they do.
That's it. That's it right there. And I've always remarked upon that here. You know that this is what this community did. You know, and I can look at the families and remember who they were. You know. Quarters, the Tom Quarters family, they had like four sons in the service all at one time, you know. And as strong a Catholic as they were, they all went to the ceremony first.
And did the community, they gave them something to take with them?
Yes.
To carry with them?
Yep.
Like what sort of things? Like a feather or something, a medicine?
Rabbit's foot.
Rabbit's foot.
You're a lucky bingo dauber.
It wasn't always the same.
Right, it'd be different for...
Yeah. Like Monty Diamond had his meat shop. So, but like Harold Frog, he was Medewan before he left. So he took his belt. He had his belt with him all the time. And the only thing he ever said about that was when he described being surrounded in the Trojan Reservoir. It was like 70 below zero.
Yeah.
He said he had his Medewan belt on the inside of his coat, and he said he could feel warmth from that. You know, that's about all he ever said about me.
Wow.
Ed Barber, same way. He was Medewan before he went off. And he served in Europe in mountain infantry, they called it. They were skiers.